Alright, let's talk about Resident Evil 4 Remake. What an absolute banger of a game. The original was a masterpiece, a game that basically changed everything for third-person shooters. It was scary, it was intense, and Leon's one-liners were just top tier. So when they announced a remake, we were all buzzing. Would it live up to the hype? Oh boy, did it ever. They took everything we loved, polished it up and made it even more terrifying. The graphics are insane, the controls are so much smoother, and the atmosphere is just dripping with dread. It's the kind of game you can't put down. The reason we all keep coming back to this game, besides the fact that it's brilliant, is the pure unadulterated challenge. It's tough but fair. Every enemy, every boss, every spooky corner of that Spanish village feels like a real threat. You're constantly on the edge of your seat, managing your ammo, your resources, and your sanity. The sound design alone is enough to make you jump out of your skin. Hearing a ganado whisper, "Detrás de ti, imbecile," still sends a shiver down my spine. It's a perfect blend of action and horror, a roller coaster of "Osh!" and get some moments that just keeps you hooked for hours on end. So, you beat the game, you feel like a champion, you've saved Ashley, you've taken down Sadler, you've got the cool jacket, what now? Well, that's the beauty of Resident Evil 4. The real fun begins when you start to challenge yourself. When you know the game inside and out, you start looking for new ways to experience the terror. You start thinking, could I do this with only a pistol? Or what if I never upgraded my weapons? That's where the crazy ideas come from. That's where the true test of skill, patience, and pure, stubborn foolishness begins. It's not just about surviving anymore, it's about surviving with style. And that brings me to my latest and possibly dumbest idea yet. I decided to take on the ultimate challenge, a run that would test my very soul. A journey into the heart of madness where every hit matters, every mistake is permanent, and the comforting green glow of a first aid spray is a forbidden fruit I can never taste. I'm talking, of course, about the No Healing Challenge. The idea is simple, but the execution is anything but. It's a one-way ticket to Painville, and I, your captain, was ready to punch that ticket with a big stupid grin on my face. Let the suffering commence. So, what are the rules for this little trip to hell? They're pretty straightforward, which is what makes them so brutal. Rule number 1, and the most important one, absolutely no healing. Ever. That means no green herbs, no red herbs, no yellow herbs, no combinations of any of them. No first aid sprays. If a chicken lays a golden egg, that's just a fancy omelet I can't eat. My health bar at the start of the game is all I get. Every single hit I take, from a villager's pitchfork to a regenerator's spiky hug, is permanent damage for the rest of the playthrough. It's the ultimate test of not getting hit. This rule changes everything. It turns every single encounter into a high-stakes chess match where one wrong move could ruin the entire run. You're not just trying to get through a room, you're trying to get through it flawlessly. The game suddenly becomes less about resource management and more about pure, unadulterated skill and evasion. That little sliver of health you lose from a stray axe throw in the village, yep, that's gone forever. It makes you paranoid. Every corner could hide a bear trap, every box could have a snake, and every enemy is a potential run-ender. It is pure, concentrated anxiety. Then we have the sub-rules to make it even spicier. To make sure I wasn't making it too easy on myself, I decided against using the body armor. The armor reduces damage, which feels like cheating in a challenge that's all about taking no damage. It's like putting a bandage on a rule that says no bandages. So, no armor. Leon is going in with nothing but his wits, his guns, and his probably very stressed out emotional state. This makes every enemy, even the weakest ganado, a significant threat. A single grab attack could take off a huge chunk of my precious, non-renewable health. And finally, the difficulty setting. I decided to do this on standard difficulty for my first attempt, hardcore or professional without healing. That's a level of madness I haven't quite ascended to yet. Standard is the perfect middle ground. It's tough enough that enemies hit hard and are aggressive, but it's not so punishing that a single mistake instantly ends the run. It provides that perfect balance of, this is possible. And why am I doing this to myself? It's a recipe for a good time, and by good time I mean a constant state of panic and yelling at my screen. It's gonna be great. The early game was all about paranoia. The village square fight, the one that feels so chaotic on a first playthrough, became a dance. I was using every barrel, every ladder, every window to my advantage. My strategy was simple: run, shoot, and run some more. I wasn't trying to kill everyone, I was just trying to survive until the bell rang. My best friends were my knife for parrying and the shotgun for crowd control. A single blast could give me the breathing room I needed to reposition and reassess. By the time I met the Chainsaw Man, Dr. Salvador, my hands were already sweating. One swing from that guy, and the run is basically over. Things got really spicy during the boss fights. Del Lago wasn't an issue since you can't take damage there anyway, but the first El Gigante fight was terrifying. I was constantly sprinting, trying to stay behind him, waiting for the Plaga to pop out. The real test, though, was the cabin fight with Luis. Ashley being there added a whole new layer of stress. I had to protect her while also protecting my one and only health bar. I basically gave Luis all the ammo and let him go to town while I boarded up windows and used my shotgun sparingly on anyone who got too close. We barely scraped by and I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. The castle section was where the true pain began. The Garradors, those blind guys with the giant claws, were an absolute nightmare. You have to be so precise with your movements, walking slowly to avoid making noise and then hitting the Plaga on their back. One wrong step, one loud gunshot, and they charge. I remember one moment in the Grand Hall where two of them were patrolling. I was down to a tiny sliver of health and I knew one hit would be the end. I spent what felt like an eternity just watching their patterns, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It was the most intense game of peekaboo I've ever played. But the absolute hardest part, the moment I almost gave up, was the fight against Krauser. That man is relentless. His knife attacks are so fast and the QTEs require perfect timing. The final battle with him, where he mutates his arm, was pure chaos. I was out of magnum ammo, low on shotgun shells, and my health was in the red. I was relying entirely on parrying his attacks with my knife. There was one moment where he lunged, I missed the parry, and he hit me. I saw my health bar flash, and I thought it was over. But somehow, by some miracle, I survived with a pixel of health left. That was the closest call of the entire run. If you're crazy enough to try this challenge yourself, first of all, I applaud your foolish bravery. You're going to need some tips. My number one piece of advice is this: master the parry. The parry is not just a cool mechanic, it is your lifeline. It will save you from countless attacks that would otherwise chip away at your precious health. Spend time in the early game just practicing your parry timings on regular villagers. Learn the attack patterns of every single enemy. Knowing when to parry and when to dodge is the single most important skill you can have for a no-healing run. It's the difference between life and a very frustrating death. My second tip is to become a weapon expert. Your arsenal is your best friend and you need to know how to use it effectively. The shotgun is your get-out-of-jail-free card for when you get surrounded. The TMP is fantastic for stunning enemies and setting them up for a melee attack, which gives you valuable invincibility frames. And the rifle is essential for picking off dangerous enemies from a safe distance before they even become a threat. Upgrade your weapons wisely. Focus on damage and reload speed to maximize your effectiveness. Don't be afraid to sell and rebuy weapons to suit the situation ahead. You also need to change your mindset. In a normal playthrough, you can be aggressive, trading damage to take down a tough enemy quickly. You can't do that here. You have to play like a coward, and I mean that in the best way possible. Survival is your only goal. Use the environment. Funnel enemies through doorways, use explosive barrels, and always have an escape route planned. Sometimes the best strategy is to simply run past enemies. You don't get bonus points for killing everyone. If you can avoid a fight entirely, do it. Save your ammo and your sanity for the fights you absolutely cannot skip. Finally, be prepared to fail. A lot. This challenge is incredibly difficult and unforgiving. You will die. You will get hit in the last room before a save point and have to restart. It's going to be frustrating. But every failure is a learning experience. You'll learn enemy placements, you'll perfect your strategies, and you'll get a little bit further each time. The feeling of finally overcoming a section that has been tormenting you for hours is indescribable. It's a challenge that taught me more about patience, perseverance, and the intricate design of this incredible game than any normal playthrough ever could. It's a painful journey, but the bragging rights are totally worth it.